let's jump right in. Today, we're doing something a little bit different for this explainer. Instead of just reading through a new legal article, we're going to put on our digital detective hats. We're going to visually investigate and deconstruct its metadata and digital footprint. Think of this less like a standard reading assignment and more like unboxing a mystery. We are exploring a document's entire ecosystem, all those structural clues left behind on a law firm's website, before we even peek at page 1. It's actually wild how much these behind-the-scenes details can tell such a rich, compelling story all on their own. So, think about it. What do you think the structural clues on a law firm's website can actually reveal about a newly published article? Before a single argument is even read, what hidden narratives are being built by the metadata, the site's layout, or even the physical address of the firm? Well, as we're about to see, the digital envelope surrounding a file holds incredibly valuable context about the exact moment this material is being brought into the world. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. Investigating digital trails and the ecosystem of a legal document. It all kicks off with this really intriguing title, A Crisi Silenziosa, which translates to the silent crisis. So, what exactly could this crisis be? Right now, all we know is that this document is a fresh PDF, newly hosted on the firm's website, just waiting to be discovered. We're treating this file like a complete mystery box. The title alone sets a dramatic stage, but it's the data wrapping around this file that gives us our first real clues. Section 2, the paradox of silence, and analyzing the engagement data. There's this massive paradox here between the freshness of this document's release and how the digital world is actually interacting with it. The official publication date is strictly stamped as August 11th, 2026. This is brand new. It's a completely fresh document, newly uploaded and perfectly ready for the world to consume. But here is where our detective work gets kind of fascinating. Despite being officially live on the site, the data shows that at the moment of this capture, the file has exactly one single view. Just one. It's just floating out there in the vast digital ocean, practically undiscovered, waiting for someone to come along and actually engage with it. And 0 downloads. Literally 0. So we've got a document titled The Silent Crisis. And ironically, it's currently resting in absolute digital silence. It's this brand new piece of intellectual property that hasn't made a single blip on the digital radar yet. Section 3, Building Legal Authority and Behind the Firm. To really gauge the weight and credibility of this material, we have to investigate the author and the firm's digital home base. You know, knowing who built the stage is just as important as the play itself. The document is authored by Carlos Roberto de Souza Amaro, anchoring the whole text to a specific legal entity, Souza Amaro Advocacia. By identifying the author and the firm, we're pulling this abstract digital file into a real-world practice. We're putting a face and a name to the arguments we're about to see. And taking a look at the site's layout shows us just how methodical this legal practice actually is. Sure, you've got your standard tabs everyone expects, home, office, practice areas, contact, but the real strategic move is the inclusion of the Opinions and Publications tabs. This totally elevates the site from just a standard digital business card into an active thought leadership hub. They're out there actively producing legal thought and educating their audience. This whole academic vibe aligns perfectly with the firm's mission statement. Professional advocacy with ethical experience and dedication. Your right is our mission. It's short, it's direct, but man, it establishes a rigorous level of authority. It dictates the tone of their practice and tells us that the text we're investigating is backed by a very serious commitment to the law.
Section 4. Agribusiness Roots and Strategic Geographic Location.
Now let's step out of the cloud and into the real world. Knowing where these digital files are actually born is absolutely crucial. The firm operates out of Rua Boa Vista, right in the center of Campo Grande, Mato Grosso do Sul. Suddenly, that abstract file has roots. They aren't debating rural problems from a skyscraper overlooking the ocean. They are literally anchored in the heart of a state that breathes agribusiness. They live the reality of the country's interior, which completely transforms our perception of their authority on agricultural matters. But even with this strong grounding in the physical reality of the agricultural interior, their digital maturity is incredibly high. Just look at this accessible digital network. They combine traditional infrastructure, like a landline with a 67 area code and standard email, with a heavy modern social presence. We're talking direct WhatsApp, a strong Instagram presence, a LinkedIn profile, and they even credit their website developer on social media. It shows a highly accessible, digitally resolved operation bridging the gap between deep-rooted rural legal practice and modern communication. Section 5. Access and the rules. Establishing the boundaries. Right, so before we finally crack open this mystery box, we have to talk about the rules of the game. The firm sets up some very specific parameters for how this material should be handled using an explicit legal disclaimer. This content is strictly defined as informational, meaning it's material meant for study and intellectual debate. It absolutely does not constitute personalized legal consulting. It's a general analysis by an expert. You can't just read this PDF and assume it's tailored advice to solve a specific personal legal issue. Setting that boundary protects the firm and sets the proper expectations for the reader. Okay, so after mapping all this out, how do we actually get our hands on the file? The site architecture boils it down to 3 super simple steps. First, you click the Publications tab. Next, their cloud-based platform runs smoothly, giving you the option to read the PDF quickly right there in the browser. And finally, step 3, you can download the specific file named artigo-crisia-silenciosa.pdf, so you can take your time and read it offline.
So we've deconstructed the metadata. We know the material is brand new. We've traced its physical roots to the agribusiness heartland of Mato Grosso do Sul. We've verified the firm's ethical commitment, and we've confirmed that the download counter is sitting at a totally silent 0. The context is completely built. With this elaborate stage set, what kind of impact, what secrets of the field are actually hiding in these unread pages? That is the power of looking at metadata, building the world before that very first click. It definitely leaves your curiosity absolutely through the roof, doesn't it? Thank you so much for joining me on this digital investigation.